Good morning, YouTube. Really excited to be here. It's been a long time. You know how life is, busy, you know, work, family, all the things that happened there today. But anyhow, I'm here with a new video. Really excited about this one. It's been a long time coming. I'm going to review one of my most exciting recent purchases, and a big one too. A 2022 Toyota 4Runner limited edition in a limited army green color. Here it is. What a beauty. So I got this vehicle about first week of May, so I had it for about 4 months now, right? So I really wanted to wait a couple of months to give you guys a comprehensive review based on my first-hand user experience. Now listen, there's a lot of tons of videos out there which I'm sure you guys seen, just like I have, about this vehicle, where you get all the specs, you know, all the characteristics. So I'm not going to get into the details, because if you are a 4Runner fan, then you know, you probably know the stuff. You know that it's a 6-cylinder 4.0 engine. You know everything about you know, that this is a 5th generation model, right? And it's been in production virtually unchanged for, I believe, around 11 years, right? So you kind of have this battle tested for over a decade vehicle with no major changes, because I believe the engine is pretty much the same, transmission is the same. So they had all this time to really test it out to make sure that this is an indestructible tank, which is the reason why I got it. So to give you a quick kind of backstory why I decided to get this vehicle, is I've been leasing cars probably for the past decade or so, right? So what I had is mostly Toyotas or Hondas, but they were all 4-door sedans or 2-door sedans, right? Now that I have a family, and based on my lifestyle, I realized that I need more space, because, you know, if you try to cramp, even if you're going to the beach, try cramping, you know, things that you need to take with you, you know, for you, your wife, and a 5-year-old, you know, you're running out of space real quick, right? Or if you're going, you know, just for barbecue, right? A couple of bags, that's it, you're done. So that was always a struggle for me. So anyhow, my lease ended, you know, May, right? May, my lease ended. And just to give you a quick overview of the car market, the inventory is low, so it's very hard to get a car you want. Cars are really expensive now, so demand is up, prices are up, inventory is low, right? So if I would have leased the same vehicle I had, it would have cost me double. So I didn't want to do that, right? For the money that I was paying for my Lexus ES350, all I could get is like a Nissan Altima or like a Honda Civic, which was obviously not the route I wanted to take, right? So I realized, okay, let me get a car, meaning purchase a vehicle. Now, when you're buying a car, you really want to get something you like, and it's also got to last you, right? Because you're not buying it for a year or two. So I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I always wanted a 4Runner. I always wanted a truck, and I always wanted like a real old school truck, which is a 4Runner is, right? For those of you guys that know, right? It's a body on frame, right? Like I said before, it's battle tested, you know, super reliable, high resale value, you know, all those things. And plus, you know, it's not too over complicated, over sophisticated with a bunch of technology, right? Like, because I only want, you know, I don't care about all bells and whistles personally. I want a dependable vehicle which I can take anywhere, meaning from drive it to a nice restaurant or go off-roading with it, right? And also which has all the latest security features, right? Like the cameras and things like that, which 4Runner does have. Now it doesn't have, you know, 42-inch screen like a Tesla does, right? And everything is operated off a screen, but I don't care about that, right? You still have the old school knobs, things like that, but you know, it has all the basic and maybe more than basic features that I personally need. So anyhow, that's why I decided to go with the 4Runner, because, you know, this is the car you definitely buy, because this is the car that's going to last you, you know, and it's going to outlast you most likely. So that's how I went with it, because for me it checked off all the boxes. So without any further ado, let's get into the vehicle itself. But before we do that, I want to show you a quick glimpse. I'm at a very unique location here in Brooklyn, New York. As you can see, this is an aircraft hangar, right? And you see it's looks like it's destroyed, right? But actually this is an old and an abandoned aircraft military base. So this used to be a aircraft military base. I'm I'm not sure how long ago, but you know, a couple of decades ago it got shut down. So now just a big space where people can come and do various events. I think there's some kids camp here, but it's just a lot of space. So I figured this is also a perfect place to film the vlog for this beautiful vehicle. So again, this is a 2022 Toyota 4Runner limited edition. Why I wanted to get a limited is because I did want to get something that has a touch of luxury, as well as, you know, the off-road features that it's known for. From my understanding, the two top trims for 4Runner are CRD Pro and the limited. Everything else goes below it. Now let's take a look at the front of the vehicle. Again, nothing changed, nothing majorly changed over the past decade, but you know, you do have the sensor right here, right? And here's the cool thing. I believe, could be wrong, but from my understanding, SR5 Premium and Limited editions are the only ones that have this 360-degree camera right here. I could be wrong, but I know that CRD Pro Sport does not have this feature, but Limited does. So this camera is super helpful. Speaking of cams, another camera is on the bottom of the mirrors right here, side view mirrors. So there's one, and then the same one on the other side. The cool thing about this cameras is, you know, when you're parking up front, especially in a tight space, you do have the sensors here in the bumper. Besides the sensors, you have a cam, which you can actually see how close you are to whatever's in front of you, right? This cams, the side cams, this give you actually a view of how close anything is to you if you're parking, let's say, at a tight parking space, right, in a shopping center somewhere, right? So I found this to be super useful. Tires, 20-inch rims, right? Standard for limited edition. Oh man, the color is so nice. What else did I get? So I got this piece right here. It's a Go Rhino. I got it mostly to protect my vehicle in case somebody's going to try to park really close behind me, right? So they're not going to scrape up my bumper. Again, I live in Brooklyn, New York. Unfortunately, you know, cars, you know, there's a high chance of your car getting damaged or scraped here by somebody. It happened to me before. So this is one of the first things I got. I think this was about $279 off Amazon. I'll throw the link in the description once I put this video up on YouTube, but definitely recommend it. I had it for about 4 months, no issues at all, and the coolest thing is it doesn't rattle. Now if you get it, another thing I recommend is get a lock. So the reason why I get a lock is because then, you know, nobody can just snap this off and take this piece with them, right? So it stays protected. So definitely get a lock if you choose to go and get this piece, but it's very sturdy and it doesn't rattle. Walking around, okay, so now the steps, right, the side steps that we have, they did not come with this vehicle. I actually got them off Amazon. They were about $179. I remember when I first got this car, I actually checked with the salesperson at the dealership, and they right away told me, yeah, we can sell them to you around $1,000 installed, because they're also installed for each one. So listen, this car was already expensive based on how expensive everything is today as far as the cars. Again, the sticker price for this is $48,000, but then, you know, after you do all the markup and negotiations, I mean, it's well over 50 grand, right? But anyhow, you know, because I already paid so much money, for me, spending another $1,000 for something that I knew could get off Amazon and put it mounted myself, I would save myself $800, you know. So that's what I did. I got this off Amazon. It looks identical to the OEM piece. I think there's like minor differences, but again, you can't tell. And it's really sturdy. I mean, listen, again, 4 months that I had this vehicle, you know, it's so many different people who, you know, different shapes and sizes who, you know, stepped in it, and it's holding excellent. So definitely recommend it. Okay, so that's pretty much it on the exterior. Again, this is a you know, the limited edition, and most 4Runners, you know, all the trim levels, they look very similar, right? I mean, yes, TRD Pro, you know, it's a little bit higher. The nose looks a little different, but overall the design is pretty much the same. So let's take another look around. man, I think one thing is definitely the color. So when I got to the dealership to look at this car, and I already looked at a couple of 4Runners. I remember, you know, there was a black one, there was a white one, a silver one, and there was this color. I think the highest selling color is white, by the way, but when I saw this, right away I knew this is the car to get. Okay. Now, let's take a look at some cool features. So, let's see you coming home. Well, you come into the vehicle from a supermarket. Press this button, hold it down. The rear hatch window opens. Now, this is one of the key features the 4Runner is well known for. I believe Sequoia as well. For those of you who are deciding whether you want to get this generation of the 5th generation of 4Runner, or if you want to get the new one, because as you know, there is a new one that's going to be coming out. It's going to be fully redesigned. So 2023 is still going to be 5th generation. The only thing they're going to change is they're going to come out with 2 retro colors. And that's it. Then the next 2024 is going to be a completely redesigned model. So just like in Sequoia, because Sequoia had the same window, however, with the new redesigned model, because they changed the way the rear hatch looks, the angle, they weren't able to actually have that glass coming up and down. Rumor is that they're not going to have that glass, or that, you know, the glass that comes up and down. To me, that's like one of the key things why I really wanted this car. Also, this is made in Japan, right? Rumor is that 2024 model, the 6th generation 4Runner, could be made in Mexico or somewhere in Texas, that area. But again, made in Japan, no brainer. I really wanted, you know, this was like one of the key selling points of the car. Anyhow, so press this button again. Boom, the glass going up. Now, I love this chrome look. And again, for limited, you get a chrome look. I believe if you get like a TRD Pro Sport, SR5 Premium, this is black. Looks nice too. Look at all the space, guys. I mean, again, I have like a freaking bicycle here, right? I mean, I have all the stuff that I usually carry here, right? Because I have a 5-year-old, a bike, a scooter, right? I have a bunch of stuff if I'm going camping or if I'm going to the beach. You know, this is actually what I use. This wipes to clean the car on the inside. It actually works really good on whether it's plastic dashboard, you know, or the leather seats. Cleans everything really well. So another thing that I highly recommend is protect the interior. So I got this piece, right, actually very long. I got the longest because they come in different length sizes. So straps over the headrest, right, and it protects the rear, you know, the trunk space against if you spill something, if there's just any kind of dirt, right? And for me, I mean, look, I have like all the stuff in here. It's also very long, so it can come down all the way outside the trunk. So if you want to put something, you're not going to scrape up the bumper, right? And you can also, if you're putting stuff here, I actually had some really big objects in this vehicle. I could just put it over. This piece is so long, it actually goes over so it doesn't scratch the rear of this hatch door. So definitely can recommend it. I'll throw the link in the description. And I got this from Amazon. It was, I believe, about $150, $160, something like that. So that piece I recommend. Now another cool thing is this, 120 volts, right? So there's been so many times, especially if you're going camping or if you just need to charge something, right? Like I have speakers and other devices that I just throw in here. I charge them up as I'm driving, and the same thing is basically charging them at home. So again, if you're looking for something convenient, this is it. I mean, the space just to be able to throw anything you want in here, not worry about, you know, being limited on space, this is it. It's perfect. I mean, if you have kids, you can even throw the seats down, and the amount of space you have, you can have like 2 to 3 kids, depending obviously on ages and sizes, but you're gonna have kids comfortably sleeping here if you're going camping, if you're at a beach, you know. So again, super cool feature. I mean, not even kids, you could have 2 adults here sleeping overnight. So that's as far as the trunk space. Let's look at the interior. So here's the interior. I love the color combination as well. So it's black with this dark cherry red leather, and you know, of course, the outside army green. So this is actually really this is real leather that's being used here. I know the Lexus ES350 I had has synthetic leather, and I know that CRD Pro has synthetic leather as well. So this is real leather. It's air conditioned and heated, but only the front seats are air conditioned and heated. Super comfortable. If you go on long rides, again, this is very comfy. There's a good amount of legroom. You know, my brother is about 6'3", 6'4", and he's fitting here in the back with no issues. So again, super comfortable. The seats are good, enough space, and you have 2 USB ports. Now they're not USB-C, they're USB. So if you have a USB-C device, you can just get on Amazon those adapters. They're like $6 or $7, and you get like 5 or 6 adapters. So here's the front, again, standard for any 4Runner, right? This is where your controls are for the doors, right? The windows and the locks. Your memory for the seats. I actually never use this, right? So both front seats are power seats, right? I believe in some other trims you only have this as the power. The driver's side is the power seat. Passenger side is manual, but this is all power. Again, this is limited. Limited is the luxury edition, right? So what else do I have here? Let me power it on. I'm not sure if you guys heard it, but when you turn on the car, you have this like old school truck sound, you know, which is really awesome. Well, I like it. So the display, it's 8-inch display. Honestly, for me, it's enough. It's more than enough. You know, I know some people complain and they say, hey, you know, now cars, you know, they have so much larger displays, etc., etc. I know, I understand that. Again, I know that this is not a Tesla. I know that this is not a Sequoia. I know that this is not a new truck where everything is digital. This looks really, like people say, it looks old school or it looks dated, but I like the design. I love the fact that it has this huge knobs, right? I like the buttons, you know, so everybody's different. So if you're into old school vehicle, this is the last of the Mohicans. So I definitely recommend for you to get it. If you want something that's fully digital, etc., etc., wait for the new redesigned 6th generation 4Runner, or get any of those newer SUVs. Now, Limited also is the only 4Runner trim that has a full-time 4-wheel drive activated. So it's full-time 4-wheel drive. And based on what Toyota says, it does not impact your fuel consumption level, because as you know, this car is terrible at fuel consumption. I mean, there's no gas efficiency at all, right? I think it's I'm getting about, where I live, you know, which is New York City, Brooklyn, New York, it's about 8 to 11 miles per gallon here. I know, very low, especially for 2022. If I'm driving, you know, highway miles, it's about 20 miles per gallon at the most. Now, yes, obviously now cars doing 37, 47 miles per gallon, hybrid, etc. Even a Highlander, which is a big vehicle, if it's hybrid, I think it gets 37 miles per gallon. And rumor is that the new 6th generation is going to be V4 twin turbo, possibly, maybe hybrid as well. So that's going to get high mileage. But again, then it's no longer going to be a real truck. You know, you can't have a real truck with a four-cylinder engine, in my opinion, right? Which is why I really wanted this, the tested 4.0 V6. So going back to the interior, we got the 8-inch screen. Again, it's sufficient for me. You know, it has the Apple Play. Here's the all air conditioning controls. You got the 2 knobs for the dual air conditioning. Here's where you regulate your seats. So it's driver's side and passenger side, heating and cooling, right? You have the USB. Then here's the cigarette lighter adapter, where I actually have a USB adapter. So I got 2 additional USB ports here. So perfect example, you know, I'm able to charge my GoPro batteries here. Glove compartment, look at this beautiful wood trim here. Again, this is for the limited edition. Let me show you guys the cameras. So if I'm clicking here, you have the front camera, right, activated, so you see exactly what's happening in front, and you also see your car at 360 degrees above, right? So you really see what's happening. This is really helpful when you're parking. That's pretty much when I use it. This is also useful when you're parking. I mean, again, this is the first car I have which has this functionality. Lexus did not have it, so for me it's For me, parking is the most difficult space is a breeze now. See, if I'm pressing this button again, now I can actually see, close the door. So now I can actually see what's happening on the side of my car, right? So if you're going somewhere really tight, or maybe you just want to be cognizant of what's to the left, what's to the right, making sure nobody's too close, this is the way to actually see. Maybe there's a pole or a wall, you can really see there's a sensor what's closer to your car. So as far as the steering wheel, again, this is pretty much unchanged since like 1980s. Well, I'm kidding, but I'm also not kidding. Again, this is still the same basic Toyota design. The dash, basic, right? But again, this car, you do not get it, in my opinion, for, you know, efficient fuel consumption. You don't get it to have all the latest bells and whistles as far as technology, all the 40-inch displays. No, you get it for the basics, and you get it for the old school body and frame truck look. You know, one of the things I really want to point out, yes, the materials here, you know, maybe they're not as expensive as in a Bentley or, you know, a Mercedes or BMW, but if you look at just how everything is made, all the stitching, right, all the spacing, it's consistent. You know, nothing is rattling, right? Everything is just smooth, and everything is just put together so well. You can really tell the quality, right? Again, like everything is just, you know, you don't have any differences in space, right? So all the panels, they're really put together. All the stitching is just perfect, right? So it has that really, you know, outstanding, made in Japan Toyota quality, which is what this car, you know, prides itself on. You know, and for the price tag, again, it's not a cheap vehicle. Just the sticker price, you know, is 48. So the way it works now, you know, you have a sticker price. I think for this vehicle it's $48,000. The only one which is higher is TRD Pro, which is, I think it's 51, right? But then now, if you buy a car in New York, they're going to put a $10,000 market adjustment. So right there, from 48 to go to 58, plus taxes, fees, etc. You're at 61, 62, $63,000 price range. I purchased this in New Jersey. They put $5,000 over the market, you know, the market adjustment, right? So it went to 53, taxes, fees, so it was like 56 or something like that. Then I negotiated, you know, I had another vehicle I traded in, so basically I did get a pretty good deal, but I'll be honest with you, I paid more than $48,000, which is the sticker price. But, you know, I knew that this was not a surprise, so I knew that this was going to happen, meaning as far as, you know, how much I would have to pay. But again, this is the car you invest in, and it's going to last you for a very long time, right? If you guys see any reviews, people have them at 300,000 miles, you know, and over, and all they do is the you know, pretty much oil change, right? So anyhow, this is my review of the vehicle. I had it for 4 months, so what can I tell you based on actually daily driving this for 4 months? What are the cons? The only con, honestly, is the gas, right? Meaning the lack of fuel efficiency. But I was fully cognizant of it when I purchased the car, so there's no surprise. And I just kind of try to go easy on the gas pedal, you know, and try to kind of be a smarter driver. But you know, this is not the car you buy to race, right? Or to take 0 to 60 from a, you know, the green light. So besides that, I mean, it's you know, this car is everything that it's famous for. It's basically a big tank on wheels. It's super reliable, super durable. You feel, you know, like you're driving a very well-made machine. Tons of space, tons of room. You know, all the good things that people say about it, I can tell you right now from first-hand experience. So, I can tell you right now from first-hand experience, driving this car for 4 months, all the good things that people say in the reviews about this vehicle is true. Well, they are true based on my experience, right? How well, you know, how well made it is, how durable it is, just how sturdy it is, and how safe you feel in it. And again, the only drawback for me is, you know, gas mileage. That's it. Other than that, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really glad I got this vehicle. I look forward to the 6th generation. I don't plan to purchase it. I mean, I'm definitely not going to sell this, but I just I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with a newer 4Runner, because I guess the idea is they want to make it competitive against the Bronco, the Wrangler, and then the Cherokee, right? So again, some of the spoilers are that it's going to be taking Sequoia's engine, Sequoia's transmission, but I don't want to speculate. We'll see. But getting back to this car, please write your feedback below. If you guys own a 4Runner, how your experience have been with the vehicle, any tips and tricks, and also if you're just looking to get a 4Runner, if you have any questions. I'm not a 4Runner expert, but again, I have 4 months of experience under my belt, and it's been all positive. So thanks everybody, and I'll see you later. Cheers.